between both the application and it's completely new application. So yeah, a walkthrough application as well. For the second session, where your team is going to join from the operation, so it would be more on the application than on the slides. Yeah,
that is on 27.
That is on 27. Okay. So let me know when you wish to start. I'm all ready.
Satish, anybody left out, or we can good to go?
So Ravi is also joined, so you can start.
Nitin, I think you can proceed.
Sure. So
hi. I'm audible to all of you?
Yes, Ravi.
Yes.
Yeah, great. Yeah. Yes, sir. Yeah, we continue.
Yeah, so we have Saurabh also joined in. So Saurabh, you want to quickly say hi and then you can
Hi everyone. Morning.
Hi, good morning.
Hi, Saurabh.
Hello.
Yeah, so we shifted to afternoon now.
Oh, yeah, sorry. Good afternoon to all.
Right.
Hi.
Thank you. So to start with, thank you very much, everyone, for giving us your time today. So we already had discussion, and it was an elaborated, detailed discussion last session we had. So I'm still exploring, a lot of integrations Mr. Ravi shared with us. So the agenda for today's presentation is to mainly take you through the overall Oracle strategy, right, as what exactly Oracle is doing in hospitality segment. We'll talk about, cloud introduction, what exactly Opera Cloud, offers to you as a chain, some of the inclusions, because what we are offering is a complete platform, with a lot of inclusions with it. It's not just the PMS which is offered to you. So that's really a takeaway for you to present to your management as well, and to see. And definitely we'll have a walkthrough, a high-level walkthrough. Detail would be on 27th. A high-level walkthrough to give you a look and feel of the application you are already aware of, and you have already worked on V5, the on-premise solution. So it will give you a fair idea as what exactly Opera Cloud is there to offer. We will definitely have Q&A session. We have 1.5 hours, fixed for today. So a Q&A session towards the end, but definitely you have any questions, queries, please feel free to stop me and ask me a question, and I'll be really happy to. Is it okay, Mr. Mr. Ravi?
Yeah, we are all right.
Please go ahead.
Great. So I'm really excited actually to present. I did some dig down and browse around your website as well. Just for the background noise, I'm just gonna put everybody on mute. So in case if you wish to speak, just please unmute yourself. Thank you. So yes, I'm really excited in presenting our solution today. So before that, I really want to showcase the momentum of Opera Cloud application, right? It is our next generation property management solution, which is, latest in the market. It is completely a new build. It is not something we have taken from, picked up the old V5 and, just added features to it. It's a complete new build of application. Now, when we talk about the momentum, definitely the momentum have picked up in JPAC as well as in, globally for Opera Cloud. Bigger chains and hotels, they have started their journey from on-premise or their systems to Opera Cloud. When you talk about JPAC, we have more than 200, 300. As we speak, this slide is little older, but the new number says is more than 200 properties who are live on Opera Cloud. We have, worldwide, we have more than 1,000 hotels who are live. And we are, as Saurabh also mentioned in last discussion, we are on last stages of discussion with many chains where, they have decided to move on to Opera Cloud as well, right? Now, to talk about, before we actually look at Opera Cloud, I want to talk about, overall strategy of Oracle Hospitality Cloud Suite, right? Now, Oracle Hospitality Cloud Suite is to, really give you a platform, especially a enterprise and the size you have, right? So it's a complete platform which is offered for a hospitality, entire hospitality ecosystem, where it's not just the a hospitality solution which is available. We have the entire Oracle suite of solutions which are available as part of this platform for you to pick and choose. So what we see on the the blue tiles here, we definitely have the core product, what is offered as the Opera Cloud Property Management Solution, which takes care of the entire module, entire journey of your guest, starting from reservation till your checkout and further the statistics and metalizations of your guests. We have Opera Cloud Sales and Event solution, which is again part of the solution. It's an add-on solution definitely, but it really integrates well with the Opera Property Management Solution, where it really gives you a 360 view of your guest accounts, not two different systems where you have to double your job in terms of statistics. So it is one source of truth which is provided to you when we talk about Opera Sales and Event Solution. We have loyalty solution which is available. We have centralized reservation. So the multi-property and centralized profiling is core of Opera Cloud application. So it is one system which is used across your entire enterprise. We have One, which is recently acquired by Oracle, and it really adds value where you can maximize your revenues. You can do upselling and generate more revenue for your hotel. Symphony Food and Beverage, definitely that is another cloud-based solution which can be picked up, and it seamlessly integrates with Opera Cloud. As other solutions, we definitely work with other partners within Oracle. One of them is your Oracle CX, which really gives you a capability of managing your customer data, marketing tool and guest communication tools. We have Oracle ERP and NetSuite for your back office, solutions. So definitely, as we discussed last time, you have SAP. So we do provide, integration with the SAP as well. We have back office module where all the information is generated and exported out for SAP to consume information from Opera Cloud. And definitely we have Oracle HCM. Other than that, we have a seamless operation management, as I mentioned, with the sales, with the PMS and with Symphony. We have centralized guest profiling. It's one profile which is used across your entire enterprise. It's not piece of information in individual properties. We have centralized rates and inventory, again, as corporate control. You can build your rates and send to your respective property. So it's corporate who's more in control rather than individual properties. Same goes in terms of your configuration control, the standardization of codes across your enterprise. So you can build one code and it is used by rest of the properties. And again, it is created once. You don't have to, let's say you create a rate code and all the properties, you don't have to do it 20 times. It's just once, and then you distribute to your individual properties. We have Oracle integration platform, more than 3,000 APIs which are available. As you're aware, I mean, sometimes you do require, third-party applications to integrate with your system. So with our integration platform, with 3,000 plus APIs, you can integrate any solution, any third-party solution, either in-house built or with your vendor, you can integrate with the Opera Cloud. We have artificial intelligence, which is again getting added to the core solution. Just to give you an idea of the artificial intelligence use, we have chatbots, which are soon coming out with the new versions, where your users can actually interact with the tablets and just give commands to perform a particular task. For example, your housekeeping team, they can simply talk to the chatbot and say, update the status to clean for room 101, for example, right? And chatbot will perform that particular task. Similarly, your front office staff can say, check in guest in room number this, and chatbot will perform that task. So that kind of artificial intelligence is getting embedded into the system. We have reporting and analytics, which is again our BI tool, which is purposely built for Opera PMS, where each and every information in terms of your guest profiles, your company statistics, travel agent information, everything is available for your team, for your staff to build reports and dashboard as per their own needs. So it is very simple BI tool, which is again a cloud-based system where we replicate entire information from Opera PMS into separate server, which runs for reporting and analytics. So one, it is your backup of your entire database, but for the reporting purpose, where you can run your statistical reports without impacting performance of your production database. And in the end, the entire what I just spoke, right? Everything is based on Oracle infrastructure. So you're dealing with one vendor. You're not dealing with multiple vendors for your servers, for your security patches, or for upgrades. Everything from ground up is taken care by Oracle infrastructure, by Oracle team for you. Any questions on this slide before I move on? No? Okay. Next, I want to talk about the concept of Opera Cloud. Definitely, Opera Cloud, it really enables your staff to, give a different kind of experience to your staff, and that really brings in operational efficiency of your staff as well, right? Now, Opera Cloud is complete cloud-based solution, which is designed keeping mobility in mind from the core. You can access Opera Cloud from any of your desktops, from any of your tablets, on any mobile devices, right? It is really device and browser agnostic. You are not bound to a particular browser to use, application. You can use Chrome, you can use Firefox, you can use Safari, any browser of user's choice they can use and access application. It works on a public network with the secure link to our data center. So that really brings in capability for your staff to access application from anywhere and anytime. Information is available to them in real time, right? You do not need to install any application on your devices, whether it is mobile, desktop, or tablet. Simple link is provided and they get connected to Opera database. Now, when I talk about mobility, definitely it brings that capability to your staff where they don't have to stuck behind the reception desk any longer. They can access this information in terms of your the preferences of your guests, any important documents, any important comments they need to access, they can access on the tablet while they're meeting and greeting the guests. The benefit is they can really, meet the guests, escort the guests to the room. And while they're, escorting guests to the room, they can update all the information in real time. They can perform check-in of your guests while they're escorting guests to the room. So that really, burst that long queues at the reception, right? You can simply check in guests in the comfort of, guest rooms. That's the kind of benefit it brings in. Imagine your housekeeping staff, they don't have to move around with the printed copies, of the room status. Any specific setup needs to be done a particular room. On devices, on their devices, they can simply access all the information in real time, update the status in real time of a particular room, with their mobile device or tablet devices. They can charge minibar charges, which is one of the, issues of hotels where guest checks out, without paying minibar charges because there is a delay in charge from the guest room consumption to the guest folio. With device access, your housekeeping staff can post charges as soon as they check the consumption of the minibar onto the guest folio in real time. Update the status in real time. They can generate maintenance requests from the device itself if they found out anything which needs maintenance attention. So all that can be done. Imagine your management team, your general managers, your duty managers, while they're moving across the property, they can access this information in real time and they can meet the guests, greet the guests, and access entire detailed information of their guests. So that's the flexibility mobility brings in. It is scalable. That's another aspect of the application. It is multi-property from the core, right? What that multi-property brings in, it brings in unique profiles. And I see myself repeating again, the profile is very important part of the application. It's a unique profile across entire enterprise, entire GRT hotels, right? One guest, Mr. Saurabh goes to Chennai, information is available, updated, his preferences are updated. Now tomorrow he goes and stays in Madurai, your Madurai staff, they don't need to build the profile again. They simply search for the profile and entire preferences, his likings, his dislikings are available at the Madurai property, and they access the same database. They're not creating a new record for Mr. Saurabh. What it brings in? It brings in the consolidation of guest information under one profile. All your company statistics, right? They are consolidated in one profile. All your travel agent information, their commissions are on one profile. So that's the uniqueness and the scalability system brings in. The reservation capabilities, and when I see the size of GRT, right? The reservation capability really brings in benefit where your sales officers can access information of any property and they can create reservation. Another capability it brings in at your property level, where each property can actually work as a small central reservation office for your properties. For example, again, Saurabh, he goes to Chennai, he stays in Chennai property and says to the front desk, hey, next week I'm traveling to Madurai, can you make booking for me? In a scenario, either hotel front office staff, they will provide the Madurai property telephone number to create the booking or direct him to a central reservation to create the booking. With Opera Cloud, your staff at Chennai property can access Madurai information and create booking for Saurabh right then and there, providing him entire confirmation number. So that's the kind of flexibility, scalability Opera Cloud brings in. Application workflow, it's really simple screens to work on, very intuitive screens to work on. Each and every icon has its own information available. By looking at the screen, users can simply access information and work with the information. Functionality wise, I did mention, right, we have chatbots which are added, so there are a lot of artificial intelligence which is added to the application. We do have, artificial intelligent room assignment, which is part of the application, where while assigning the room, system takes care of the preferences of your guests. It looks at the use of a particular room. So for example, you have room 101, which is manually assigned every time to a guest coming in, right? But system does check other rooms and the uses of it and keeps rotating the availability of a particular room. So that's the kind of, flexibility, functionality application brings in. In my next slide, I'm going to talk about some of the inclusions, which is again, part of the subscription. You don't pay extra for this inclusions. It is part of one subscription for your entire enterprise. And the very first is your digital learning, which is important part, right? You have new staff coming in. You need to train them on the application, right? We have digital learning available 24/7, 365 days. User can simply access the modules wise learning, right? So your staff, front office staff can access front office module and get trained on application. You have, a reservations module. So module-wise learning is available for your staff. Again, at the comfort, it is cloud-based. They can access anywhere and, get trained on the application. In addition, your management team can actually, they can track the progress of each and every employee, that how comfortable they are with the application and ready to face the guests, with the features of application. So a lot of benefit comes in with the digital learning as well. We do offer reporting and analytics. And as I mentioned, you have capabilities of building reports as per your own needs. So your staff at front office, staff at reservation, They can simply create reports using visualization, bar charts, pie charts, and different ways of presenting data, and they can build report as per their own requirement. We do have 300 plus standard reports with Opera Cloud application. This is on top of that, where every user can create reports as per their own needs. At the corporate level, you can standardize reportings and send to the hotels to generate reports. And rather, you don't need to send that also as a multi-property. You can simply access the database of your different properties sitting at corporate office and generate your report. Benefit here is you don't need to depend on the property to generate your month-end reports. By simply scheduling, you can run report, you can instruct Opera reporting and analytics, and the report will be generated, scheduled, generated, and in your inbox the day you want. So that's the kind of flexibility reporting and analytics also brings in. I've spoken about the integration platform where you have 3,000 plus APIs to integrate any application with Opera Cloud. Again, it is part of the subscription. On top of that, need your attention on the sales and event management. Now, this is an add-on module with the Opera Cloud subscription. Now, this really helps you, drive. It's really sales-driven screens. It is again one application, so your sales team is also working in a a property environment where they can access information of Madurai, Chennai, Bangalore, all the Opera properties within GRT, and they can create and access information with the sales team. They can create their events, they can create blogs, reservations in real time. So imagine a situation where your staff, where your sales team, they are sitting in front of guests to confirm a marriage function. Now they don't have to call hotel and check the availability of an event area or the number of rooms available on that particular day. In real time, they can access the entire information, block the event area as per the guest requirement, block the number of rooms guest requires on the event date in real time, and they can present the entire BEO to your guests, right? Sitting with them, giving them confirmation. So there's the kind of flexibility again, sales and catering brings in, with Opera application. So these are some of the areas it covers. Again, it's a mobility, so they don't have to move around with their laptops and all that. A simple tablet where they can, in fact, showcase, the sitting area or any information, the pictures they can access. You can upload in the event related to event on the system, and you can show, your sales team can show to the guests while they're sitting with them. Now, that's not all. There are a lot of other inclusions with the Opera Cloud subscription. I've spoken about the mobility, which is part of the application. You have reporting and analytics, which is included. You have hospitality integration platform, which is included. You have multi-property profile and configuration, it is included in the subscription. You have cross reservations, you have back office exports. So your integration with SAP is part of the subscription. So all the files required by SAP are generated through our back office export, and you don't need to pay anything extra, it's included. You have Frequent Flyer, you have your commission handling module where you can keep your travel agents happy with all the commission calculations, and it tracks everything for you, and it is again included in the system. I spoke about the flavor in our last meeting, that we offer 3 different flavors as foundation, standard, and premium. And I see Bharat has shared the detail also with you, Mr. Ravi, where you can actually see, the function list, which is available to be picked up as per, a requirement of each and every resort or property of yours, and you can decide. So with the flavor, you get 3, property-based interfaces with foundation and standard, and with a premium, you get 6 property-based interfaces. So when I say property-based interfaces, these are your in-room telephone, your Wi-Fi, door locking system, like that. And if it's more than that, as per the flavor, probably that just needs an add-on requirement. From the technology point of view, you don't need to worry about the backups and the security and the SLAs. Everything is included. Saurabh did mention we have, Hyderabad, which is coming in, which will work as your DR for the backup, and GRT doesn't need to really worry about the security and the backers, because Oracle will take care from the ground up for everything related to backup and security and compliance of the application. Last, application version and updates. You are never behind any features and functionality which your competitors might be working on if they're also on Opera Cloud. There are scheduled upgrades which happens automatically. So you're always on the latest version of the application. You can simply decide whether you need the new functionality. You can turn on and off as per the requirement. Okay. So that's the last slide before I move on to the application. Any questions from anyone?
Mr. Nathan, you said that the commission module,
Yes.
do you arrange that commission disbursement to the client?
So
Agency?
yes, it is calculated. You have your reports generated. It basically calculates whether you're doing at the rate code level commission or you're doing a travel agent based commission. So all gets calculated. I need to check, when you say disbursement, are you talking about the check generation
Yes.
or the online?
Onyx or TSES or entity, whosoever the third-party agents and disbursement will be engaged.
I will have to check that. That's an interesting point to catch. I will note that. We do work with our, OPI, which is our payment interface. So we can work with that, and probably your finance can do that. But let me check on that, sir.
Sure. And the chatbot you mentioned, that is the communications between the users.
That is for the use. The purely what I'm going to cover is mainly the user-facing application.
Okay. Yeah. And the last question is the confirmations. How it's dispatched through rituals, digital or SMS? How this goes?
Sorry.
Reservation.
Reservation confirmation. So you can send them through the application itself, right? Through the emails. We have the gateway, which is added to the system, so it can be generated and emailed out to the respective.
Oh, that can be performed. That's all from my side. Thanks.
Yes. Okay.
Nathan, just a question. See, on this confirmation, have you integrated with WhatsApp or any other social media where we can send that confirmation through WhatsApp?
So I have heard this requirement from other hotels as well, and there are some third-party vendors who are working on it, and definitely it can be done. See, we work with the third-party vendor for this application. I can provide you a list of the vendors who can provide you this WhatsApp integration.
Because
I
generally
think we
for
should have the
international-
WhatsApp for business here that can be done.
Yeah,
Yes.
WhatsApp for business account, if there is no, that we can have it. But what I'm telling you, generally for an international traveler, if the confirmation goes through the WhatsApp and email, then that will be better.
Sure. So I can check that, sir. What all vendors we have who provide, and we can further explore that integration.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah, Mr. Nitin, I have one point to discuss about the number of features you have agreed to share with us before this meeting, but we yet to receive this kind of another number of functions. What we discussed about it.
Bharat, you're there?
Nathan. Hello.
Yeah. Have you shared the function list?
Yes, I've shared it. I marked you in CC in the morning.
Yeah. So I can see that, sir. It's already, the mail is out, and the function count and the detailed PDF is already sent out.
Mr. Elambo, did you notice that mail?
No, I've not seen it. I've not received it till now.
Okay.
Can you just check whom all have you shared it to? Because I think not everybody has received.
Yeah.
I
Okay.
got this mail this morning, but I had to open.
I
Okay,
think
okay.
Mr. Christopher has received it. Just confirm us.
Okay, fine. Okay, fine. Since I'm traveling, so that I have yet to see the mail. Probably
Morning,
we
this
will
mail came in
check
this morning.
it and come back internally.
Sure, sir.
And that's one point. And other one is that WhatsApp is in need of an hour today because everything is going only on WhatsApp. If you commit on this one, WhatsApp, maybe through the third-party integrator persons, no problem. But because this is one of a convincing factor to our board, because as of now, we have not implemented with the WhatsApp-based communication with our guests. If you say yes, then this is one added advantages for this product.
So definitely, sir. So I will explore my vendors, who have integrated this WhatsApp, and I'll share the information with you.
Yeah.
Sure.
That's it. This is what from my end. And anything from technical perspective, Mr. Satish also can share something.
Sure.
If something noticed.
Yes. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So generally what happens with the OTAs, right? They either generally we use the same identification through which they are sending information and then you merge. So irrespective if guest has already traveled with you, you have all the information. Let's say Saurabh, he has traveled directly with you, you have profile, and then he comes to the OTA, right? So that gets merged. There are criteria where Opera Cloud checks the data information, and it doesn't create a second profile. Basically, it uses the same profile. There are different criteria, Satish, to it, through which it identifies the guest profile. So it's name, telephone number, definitely, emails, and other information also. Mainly the guest name, but then, yes, the profile is really a sensitive topic to discuss where, if you spell guest name differently, definitely you will end up having duplicate profile, and that's the challenge will always remain, believe me. Right. So yes, there's always a challenge, Satish. I understand the concern, but then definitely that is where we have all the merge profile capabilities, right? Where you can identify and merge the profiling. There is a process where you can run the automated process. It will definitely check, generate the reports, and if you're okay, then you can say go ahead and merge.
So what if, Nitin, what if somebody is not pulling up the profile and then they create a duplicate profile for the same guest?
So that's the challenge.
System alert them?
The system will allow, because how you spell Rajiv, R-A-J-I-V, is different how I spell Rajiv, R-A-J-E-E-V.
Yeah.
So system will not stop. But that is where, as I mentioned, you have reports where, you need to, if you find a lot of duplicates, this process of merging needs to be done. And definitely, sir, there has to be a SOP where users are trained in a proper way to, look for the profile rather than just simply creating the profile. But yes, system will not restrict them creating one more profile.
Right. Okay. Yeah. Okay.
Sure. Any other questions?
Nothing.
All right. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to jump on the application itself. Allow me a moment, please. I'm going to share my desktop itself so that you can see a lot of pop-ups which comes in within the application. So that's the first login screen of Opera Cloud. And as I mentioned earlier, Opera Cloud is device and browser agnostic. You can use browser of your choice. My preference, I always prefer to use Chrome, where I can do a lot of, my personal stuff, the favorites and all that. So there is a simple link user can store on their browser as a favorite and get connected to the application server. Now, every user will have their own login credentials, right, through which through which basically you can restrict and give them access to various modules. What access they will have will depend on the management and the user criteria, right? You do have a dual, a two-factor authentication where, in case you want to restrict users, you can have two-factor authentication where when they log in, a second code will send on to their official emails, and then only they'll be allowed to log into the application. So that's facility is also available within the Opera Cloud, the two-factor authentication. Now, the once user logs in, they log into the Opera Cloud dashboard. Now, dashboards are something which can be configured, customized as per each user's requirement. But before I go on to the dashboard, I'm going to show you how easy it is for users to navigate within the application. There are simple drop-down menus on the top from where users can access various modules of the application in terms of profiles, booking, reservations, front desk, in-house, departures, inventory for housekeeping, finance for receivables, your miscellaneous menu, and various reports also available. So the drop-down is available on the top where they can access various modules. Now, again, user needs to remember which option is under which menu. So Opera simplifies it by giving you search sitemap option where user can simply type in what option, what module they are looking for within the application. And when they search the site, Opera tells them, okay, these are the two options which are related to arrivals, right? Simply you can search for the departures or you can search for the advanced deposit. So system will search that option, the module, and it tells user to navigate. Again, these are entire screen, entire Opera Cloud works on the hyperlink. So they can simply click on the arrivals and the module will be loaded for them. Clicking simple on Opera Cloud takes them back to the main screen of the dashboards. Now that's not all. You do have quick launch button where user can actually customize the quick keys. Now, if you remember your Opera V5 on premise where you have Shift and F2, Shift and F3 to see the house status, or F3 to access the room query screen, right? Here also you have similar options available in terms of quick keys, but the difference here is it goes to next level where each user can actually customize these screens, right? So here I have customized arrival by Shift plus A, so user can press F2. Shift and A will launch arrival screen for them, right? Saurabh, Bharat can customize this arrival in a different way where they can simply say Shift or Z to activate the arrival. So that's the level of personalization each user can do in terms of the navigating or accessing a module. It's not only applications, modules within the application, you can have custom links as well where you can build any external website you have, let's say a SOP site or an internal blog site, which you want users to access. You can create custom links also. For example, here I've created one for TripAdvisor. So user can simply press Shift and F1 and it will open external website within Opera Cloud, which will take them to the TripAdvisor, right? So a lot of customization and personalization options are available for the user. Simple navigation screens now. Again, an important module here is, as I kept mentioning, and it's very important for GRT as well, is a multi-property concept and centralization concept of Opera Cloud, right? Now, gone are the days where you need a central reservation system, a separate system which is running on top of the applications and seriously running separately from the entire database, right? With Opera Cloud, we have changed the way you access information at the central level, at the central reservation office, or at the property level. What user get access is to the location, what location they want to work with. For example, here you have option of creating hubs and properties. Each property is a normal property within the system. So user will be granted access to what property they have access to. So a user who's working at the GRT Chennai will have access only to the GRT Chennai, and they cannot access information on other properties. They simply work on GRT Chennai. Now, moving to the next level, which is your, let's say, a group general manager or group revenue manager. What they can do, they can definitely access the property level information by simply logging to property, or they can log into hub. What hub will provide? You can have multiple hubs created. So you can actually bifurcate GRT now into different, I remember, Mr. Ravi, you were mentioning that you have different flavors within your, organization where you have Zeba, one of the brands, right? Sorry if I'm spelling it wrong. Zybe, right, sorry. So Zybe, you can create a hub for all your Zybe properties. You can create all your grand property as a different hub, and you can provide user access to the hub level. So revenue manager who's responsible for all the Zybe properties will access the hub and the properties underneath. And on top of that hub, you have chain level, where you have access to entire tree of hubs and properties. So Mr. Ravi, you will have access to the chain where you can access all the properties. So that way you can really design and group your entire enterprise with the hub and property level. Any questions here? Any? No? So that's one important aspect of the Opera Cloud, where it really brings everything together, and it is one database. You're not working on multiple database, and that's where you have single profile, single source of truth for your statistics, for your corporates, and all the information you're working with. So moving back to the dashboards, dashboard is really interesting and my favorite topic to cover, where you can actually customize, you can design the dashboards. I have created multiple pages, but there is no limit to it. You can add as many as pages to the dashboard, where you can add multiple tiles to each dashboard. So for example, a house status page where you have multiple tiles added to the dashboard. You can have room status of property. Right, currently I'm logged into a property level, which is Sydney Hotel here. So it is giving you property level information as room status, how many rooms occupied, assigned, vacant, clean, dirty, your queue rooms information, your discrepancy information is provided on the tiles as how many rooms are skip or sleep, the discrepancy between front office and housekeeping. You have your daily projection information as per the breakup of your entire house between individuals and blocks. What will be occupied tonight, your percentage occupied, room revenues, your ADRs, your RevPARs. You have a tile for rooms availability summary, where it gives you breakup of each category. Within each category, how many rooms are available and sold. You have a tile which gives you, information on reservation activity, what is happening with the arrivals, your departures, breakup of it, how many in-house you have, extended stays you have, day use, walk-ins. So entire information is available on this particular tile. A queue rooms tile, a reservation revenue tile, which gives you entire, week's information on this tile itself. And there's no limit to it. A user, a property can add multiple tiles on the dashboard. So we have list of tiles which are available to be picked up and added to each dashboard, right? So let's say you have a tile you can add, which is 60 minutes, which gives you information, what is happening in previous 60 minutes in terms of check-ins, check-outs, and arrivals, and so on, right? A separate tile for complementary and house use, a custom which is added, a daily projections, image gallery. You can pick up an image gallery and upload all the information for your staff to browse around the property pictures, and basically they can turn the tablet and show it to guests to view various images as well. So that's the tiles you can add. Similarly, you can have a sage which gives you information on front desk, right? Arrivals, as I said, the screens are very intuitive. Meaningful icons are used across the application. Arrivals. So it tells you there are 14 arrivals for the day, 4 are already checked in, and 10 are expected to check in, right? You have in-house occupied information, breakup of children and adults. You have departures, again with the breakup. You have your entire room availability summary screen. Housekeeping can have a separate page where they can add tiles as per housekeeping information, queue rooms, breakup of queue rooms, room status, a room maintenance tile where housekeeping can see how many maintenance requests are generated by them within Opera Cloud, right, and how many are resolved. A VIP guest breakup. You have entire task sheets which can be accessed by the housekeeping in terms of their job they need to do for that day, or turn down a service, how much is completed, how much is not completed. Similarly, a full service departure. So depending on task sheet assigned to them, they can access it on the dashboard as well. You have hotel location, right? That is another tile where you can have a lot of custom, tiles added to the screen. Like here, a user who has not traveled to multiple properties, but guest comes in. Again, same example where Saurabh walks in at the desk and he wants to know about the Zide by GRT, right? So you can have this custom tile where the entire, a tile is there, which is providing information to users about the Zide. They can read. Not only that, it does give you option for the external link as well. So users can simply click on the link you have generated, and the external your website opens up for user to check on any promotions which are going on, what are the facilities, or any package is offered for the date guest is traveling. So all that can be accessed from within Opera. Talking about Grand, so they can simply click and it opens up the Grand website, external website, where you have all your promotions going on, and that can be accessed and checked from within the application. Again, these are the custom tiles. Let me quickly show you. So you can add custom tile. Any tile can be added. So example here, let's say the custom content. I can add one more, right? I'm adding one more. So simple for users. They can simply add and customize. You can have your SOPs, any important SOPs which user needs to take care of. You can, create a tile for that, right? And you can enter all this step, check for billing letter, right? VIP arrival inform GM, right? And that can be saved. And these are basically custom tile which is added, and user needs to take care of, or certain step they need to take care of while they're performing their task. So very user-friendly dashboards. You can have sales dashboard where tiles are available for sales users to pick up, like the events happening in this, events they are responsible for, the bookings they are responsible for, the revenues they have generated, the activities they need to complete today, meeting guests or calling guests or following up for the payment. So all that can be seen on one screen. Moving back to front desk, it's not just the information which is available on these tiles. These are basically intuitive in nature, right? We are seeing arrivals. There are 10 expected arrivals. User can simply click on the expected arrivals, and it further drills down from the dashboard itself to the list of arrivals for the day. Again, a lot of information available for the users in terms of icons. They can look at the icons as how many adults are there. Look at the stay information. So you have an icon which tells you that this guest is visiting for the first time to your property, right? And if you look at Mr. Aditya Kumar, it shows a different icon which says, oh, it's a return guest, right? So you can simply identify the guest is visiting for the first time, or he's a return guest to your entire enterprise. It's not just the property. So that's the kind of advantage centralization brings in, to your staff. A lot of other information, rooms are assigned, not assigned. They can simply use, hyperlinks and further go on to that particular option. Now, this is the screen which I personally like to view, but users do have option of personalizing the screen on the fly. They can simply change the screen to a table view where the screen changes and they can see more information in a table view, right? Bharat likes to see room first rather than the guest name. So he can simply drag and change the layout of the screen as per how a user wants to, look at the information. So that he can simply drag and change the columns as well. Sorting options are available for each user. Again, how they want to see the screen. You have a console view, which is again a quick way how you read your emails, right? Similarly, you have reservation and different tasks, different sections available as a reading panel for the users. They can read the profile information, reservation information, billing, and various options to work with. Again, these are all hyperlinks where they can further drill down to the respective information for that particular reservation, right? So moving back to dashboard, so that's the kind of flexibility, the drill down, the intuitiveness, dashboards brings to the user. Any questions before I move on to next topic?
I'm okay.
All right. So that was quick on the dashboard. Profiles, these are core of, Opera Cloud, and as you're aware, for Opera as well. So you do have super search options available here where you're not restricted to search for your guest just by the last name. You can enter definitely the last name and search for your guest, right? You can search for your guest by the mobile number also. So you can actually type in and it searches your guest with the mobile number. So you do have two guests with a similar mobile number. So that's the kind of flexibility the super search option brings in. I just created this example to showcase what kind of access you can do. Profiles, again, at their core, you can view all the information. You have this communication, and the numbers in front, which tells user how much details are added onto the guest profile in terms of communications, in terms of identification, the preferences of the guest. So how much information is added to it. A hyperlink, you can simply click and it takes you to the guest profile where you can see different sections of your guest profile, right? The important one is guest identification, where you can upload guest pictures onto the tablet, onto the guest profile, sorry. So you can actually identify your guests, and that's one benefit, brings in, for your staff. Imagine your airport rep, right? Now they don't have to stand with the placard with the guest name. Guest walks out of, airport, they look for placard with their name, and that really takes out time. With Opera Cloud, with the flexibility of real-time information, your airport representatives can actually view the guest picture. Guest walks out and they greet the guest. So you're changing the way how you identify the guest at the airport. And that's the wow factor which comes in for your guests, that they don't have to wait, right? So that's the flexibility comes in. Various sections here. I won't go into details of all, but some important ones here is like your future and past stay, where you can actually see the entire stay details of this guest in the past and in the future, right? So entire details are available. Sorry for the junk data here, but these are just the examples here. So you can actually view the entire past history of your guest, which property he stayed in. Again, these are hyperlinks where you can actually click and go back to the previous reservation of the guest and view entire details of your guest in the past, the revenues guest generated, the rate guest stayed in. You can go to the guest billing screen, and with Symphony Better together, the point of sales, right? Whatever bills are posted, you can actually further drill down, because Symphony sends the check details, the entire check view. The picture is stored in Opera Cloud also. So you can actually drill down to the F&B check and see what guests consumed in outlet on that particular day, what item they consumed, what quantity they consumed, and the price generated. So that's the kind of flexibility future and past brings in. Another benefit here, like there are so many future reservations, you can actually avoid creating any duplicate bookings in the system, right? Saurabh calls up and he wants to block room for June, and midway your reservation got disconnected. So now somebody else, Saurabh calls up again, speaks to second associate. So they can simply go to future reservation and see whether the booking is already created or not created, or simply cross-check whether guest is already holding booking for the future or not. So that really helps you avoid any duplicates, right? And keep in control of your future availability as well. You have all the attachment section, right, where you can add any important documents, right? You have You have your identifications, all your passports, documents you can scan and upload onto the identification section, right? Your Aadhaar cards, your driving license, all that can be added here. A note section, which really a powerful tool here with the multi-property. You can create notes at the global level and at the property level also. So a general note, he's a frequent flyer, a frequent traveler, right? Or you can have a general note where you simply write down, oh, he's friends of owners, right? So everybody across the enterprise needs to take care because this guest is VVIP guest and associated with the owners, right? So that's a global note everybody needs to take care of. You can have property level notes where, a guest, whenever he travels to Grand Chennai, he likes to stay in a particular room, right? So that you can bifurcate and create your notes accordingly. General notes will be available across the enterprise for other hotels to access also. Property level notes will remain at the property level. Similarly, with your preferences, so you can link them to the global or property level preferences as well. So that's a quick on the profiles where you can see it's a one long page of information. You don't have to move around into different screens to access guest information. Same is for your companies and travel agent, where you can add all your accounts receivable information of your travel agents and company, your negotiated rates you can attach. So when your CRO or central reservation creates the booking, they can see only the negotiated rates of the company and travel agent. So you can attach all the documents here as well. Any questions on profile? No?
So Ridley Ramkumar.
Yes.
So where can we add guest likes, dislikes, allergy, that state of information?
The preferences, right? So you can see again, there is a lot of configuration you can do. So you can create your grouping, bedding, dietaries, diner, floor, and you can create your codes and you can add them what kind of diet guest likes to receive, right? Or he's allergic to something. So you can create all that information here, smoking preferences or foodology, all that can be added and you can simply attach to the guest profile. So all these categories is your enterprise configuration, right?
Okay. Okay, thank you.
Okay. So you can see here, you can mark it's a global or it's a property level. Sorry, was there a question?
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
See, earlier you said that multiple profiles can be by mistake can be created by the user. So we can have an option by mobile number could be unique for each and every user, so that while saving before that, the mobile number seems to be saved. Or you want to create a duplicate profile so that this will avoid.
Sorry, I missed out the last part. So yes, the Oprah doesn't restrict again. It won't say that this number is used by another profile because that will bring in a lot of restrictions, So yes, but it can be tracked. Like in a super search, we can simply search for a guest profile with the same mobile number and decide whether we want to merge or we do not want to merge. Right? Maybe there could be a scenario where you have husband, wife, and an adult child traveling, but same mobile number you keep in all the three profiles. So system really cannot restrict, on the, it should not restrict rather on a particular code basis.
Understand. Thanks.
Right.
Nitin,
So
can the rich card be e-signed?
Absolutely, sir. And I would be happy to show you once I'm on the arrival screen.
No, because we have been looking for that solution for quite a number of years now.
So you don't need it anymore. It's part of the subscription.
Okay.
Basically, it's part of the module. I'll show you that.
Good.
Yeah.
Okay, that's good.
No questions on profiles, right? So I will move on to my next section, which is the reservation. So yes, you have a lot of options to work with. You have reservation workspaces. You can create your confirmation letters, property calendar. You can access to view your entire, properties in one screen, right? You have blocks where you manage all your group reservations. You have event areas which you want to manage and access, function diaries. So all that can be accessed within the booking system. What I'm going to do, I am going to move to the hub level so that I can show you the multi-property concept of Opera Cloud. So currently I'm at the property level. So I'm simply changing. Now user has access to the hub level. So they simply click on the hub level and log into hub so that they can access rest of the property assigned to them. So currently in this example, I have 2 properties. That's what I'm going to show. Before I jump on to reservations, Mr. Alango, I want to show you another, and to rest of you as well, the capabilities of multi-property now. When I look at house status, a dashboard, right? It really gives you capability of viewing information of other properties on one page. So when you log in, as you're responsible for 5 properties or more than 5 properties, right? You can have all properties created on your dashboard for the comparison purpose, right? So when you log in, you can simply see reservation revenue summary of property A, which is Sydney, reservation revenue summary of second property, third property, and so. And on one screen itself, you can see what is happening with each property you're responsible for. You can see the complementary house status of each property, what is happening. So it's one screen itself. You can actually see the entire comparison of the properties you are responsible for.
So for how long we can see this? This is like a forecast what you're talking, right?
Right. So with the reservation revenue summary, it is for next 1 week, which is showed on the screen.
Okay. Okay. Yeah.
And again, every property has have a configuration. Each tile can be configured the way user wants. So currently, I have set it up for days to fetch 7. You can increase the way you want.
Okay. Right.
So a lot of customization can be done as well. You can change the view how you want to view. You can make it to a graph, right? Start date and for which property you are designing this particular screen. So it really changes the way you want to look at the dashboard.
Okay.
So gone are the days where you have to run multiple reports, do the comparisons. With dashboards, you can actually see right on your screen the real-time information of each property, whether it is Madurai, Tuticorin, or Chennai, or Bangalore, all can be seen on one screen itself.
Can we put these high demand dates now when there is a city is having an event, let's say, or a sporting event or some other this thing, let's say some 3 months ahead of time. So today I know that, okay, for that particular period, the demand is going to be high. So I come and put a reminder to all my reservation guys stating that, okay, this will be the peak demand period so that we have to price it higher or something like that. Is there any way of color coding it or something like that?
Definitely you can achieve that using the events calendar, right? Or in fact, your reservation room diary as well. So with the events, basically you can create all your events and this sales board here, right? So you can actually create property-wise events, but it definitely is for a particular date, right? So you can actually create and show them, oh, these are the important events happening in the city.
Correct. So they will be having an alert that, okay, they should not undersell the property on those particular dates.
Again, sir, so there would be different ways of how you would like to control from the corporate level, right? Rather than just a display, you can actually pre-configure all these rates, with the opening and closing. What we call in Opera is your, restrictions, manage restrictions.
Okay.
Right. So with the restrictions, you can actually decide, okay, on this particular date, there is an event going on. My occupancy reaches 75, close out all the discount rates.
Correct.
Now you want to sell only the rack rate. So that can be achieved using the manage restrictions option.
Okay. Right.
Well in advance. All right. So moving back to the reservation, sir. The quick interesting screen, need your attention on is the look to book sales screen. Very interesting screen. And this is I'm at the hub level. So imagine your sales, person who's sitting in, let's say Mumbai and booking GRT for Chennai, right? They can simply go to look to book screen, small screen, but very beneficial where they track the person who's calling, right? So while you're on the screen, there are a lot of times, and I've seen it, right? I've heard it from the reservation team. Oh, we were taking reservation and we lost the call. What do? We don't know who to get back to. Either we wait for the customer to call back, right? Then the entire process started from the beginning, your halfway reservation. With the small information, you can actually, store the caller information and continue with the new reservation. Takes you to new reservation, the call gets disconnected. You can simply click on the caller information and you have information right in front of you, and your staff can call back and continue with the booking. So you don't lose out on bookings when a call gets disconnected. Now, coming back to reservation screen. Now, this is the benefit here for your central reservation capabilities and for your staff, where guest calls up and he says, hey, I want to book Chennai. Now, user can simply select the property for which they want to create the booking form. As they're logged into Hub, entire list of properties will be listed here. Not only one, they can actually do multi-segment bookings as well, where they can simply select properties. Example, Saurabh calls up central office and says, hey, I want to stay 2 nights in Chennai, and then I'm going to Madurai for 2 nights. Can you make booking for me? Now, what do? Either you create 2 bookings separately, 2 for Chennai and 2 for Madurai. But with Opera Cloud, you can simply select the properties you want to make booking for from the list and continue. Enter the arrival date. The guest wants to travel, so you pick up the date, how many number of nights guest wants to book for. Rooms, number of adults, you can block more than 2 rooms. So at the time of arrivals, you simply break them into multiple actual arrivals, but you can block more than 1 rooms as well. Number of children, adults, and so on. You search for the guest profile. Here, you simply enter the guest's name and system will search the profile for you. Currently, there is only one, guest with the last name as Anand. So system has simply picked up the profile. Else, it goes to the search screen where it gives you a list of all the guests with the similar last name, and you can track and search. You can be specific by the identification number. You can search guests by the mobile number and all that, and be specific. The staff can be specific as which profile they want to pick. If profile does not exist, you do have option of I want to, and I want to is very interesting screen. It's a guided screen for the users. So I want to, what user wants to, I want to create new profile. So they can simply click on I want to, and it gives list as what is the next step user can take on this screen, rather than giving him 50 different options to work with. Okay, as the profile does not exist, the next step is create profile, company profile, guest profile, and so on. So that's the learning, the guided learning and the guided paths, defined on every screen. Once you're sure this is the profile, they can simply select from the database, right? And this profile is one profile, it's not on Chennai or Madurai or any other property. It is a central profile. Company guest is coming from, travel agent guest is coming from, any smoking preferences, you have any special rate codes, rate categories, like here, let's say Tata, guest is coming from Tata, pardon me for that. Guest is coming from Tata, system searches for the company profile, whether the profile exists or not. So I guess there's no Tata profile. I'm just going to skip that. So in case if you pick up the company, it shows all the corporate rates and the negotiated rates you have with the Tata group or for the specific company. Once you click on search, it shows you the entire availability on both the properties, right? So you're seeing your Sydney property availability. You're seeing your availability for Grand Siloam Hotel as well. So Chennai property and Madurai property, all the availability is there, right? Now, at this stage, again, going back to the kind of benefit central system brings in, the multi-property concept brings into your staff. Now, Saurav wants to know more about the Chennai property before he actually makes the booking at this stage. Now, staff doesn't know what are the offers, the facilities provided at the Chennai property. For each property, you can create a property brochure. User can simply click on the property brochure while they're creating the reservation, and they can access the entire information of the property which is fed and created for the staff to look at. Check-in time, check-out time, time zones, currencies, directions. You can actually scan and put a direction onto the system to, for your staff to view. The nearest airports to the property, right? What sort of transportation is provided by the hotel for the airport pickup and drop, whether it is chargeable or not chargeable. What are the amenities, service provided at the property, right? What are the dining and retail facilities available? What are the local attractions you have for the property for guests to, really plan their, probably it's a, vacation, so they can plan local attraction. Event spaces, what sort of event spaces are offered in case they're looking for a conference to hold or a high tea, sort of thing. You have images, you can upload all the important images, property images, site maps, and all that. You have calendar, where this is another screen where, Mr. Alonga, this is here you can enter all your, any events which is going on a particular date when guest is inquiry. So all that can be viewed that, okay, there is a air show happening in Bangalore, so they need to be careful with the bookings and the kind of rates they offer, right? So all the information can be accessed, right? And very interesting part here is you can actually, with the kind of enterprise, the properties you have, you can have alternate properties also defined here. Now, what is the benefit here is in case one property is sold out, your staff, your reservation staff can offer alternative property within the same city. So let's say in Chennai, you have 3 properties, right? So your reservation staff is one property sold out, they can offer alternate properties also. And everything is available right there on the property brochure for that. Moving back to reservation here, they can simply look at the rates. They can click on the rates and view more details. What are the inclusions? What are the policies? Breakfast is included or not? Sorry, I'm missing the pictures, but actually you can upload the room pictures also, where staff can actually explain the entire layout to the guests as what side is the bed or what are the other facilities available in the room. Once they're done, simply click on select and it moves on to the reservation screen. It's much faster. I'm just showing you the benefit to the staff here, but usually it's quite fast once they know, okay, what they need to access. Again, bifurcation of information, the reservation type, the market segment, you want to track the source, where this particular booking is coming. So all your statistical information is broken down. It's coming from hotel email, or it's a walk-in sales office, or whatever you want to track, you can create your sources and track at the corporate level itself, right? And look at it's again not property who's defining the source. It's at the management control as what source of business you want to track, and it's one code which is used across the enterprise. Rates, fixed rates, packages. You can sell more packages here, where you can actually, let's say guest says, oh, I'm booking the room, but I need a baby crib in the room, right? So you can actually on the fly add more packages, and whatever calculation is configured for that baby crib will be added to the guest reservation. Again, you have further item inventory associated with these packages. So with the baby crib, right, you can actually see the item inventory and block that particular item for that particular date range. And this guest added on the fly to the guest booking as well. Continue. Here, you can actually block the item inventory also. The link is not created, but you can actually set up the link as well, where it automatically blocks the item for the number of nights guest wants to stay. You can move it to wait lists in case you cannot confirm the booking for this guest. So you have separate database of wait list where you can track for the bookings you want to confirm. So all that can be done. Again, you have more fields. You can have your custom fields. GRT wants to track any specific information on the reservation, which is very specific to GRT. You can have custom fields available, pasted on the screen, and you can track the information. right? What Opera offers you? Opera offers you user-definable fields in terms of date, numeric information, and character information. So specific fields can be tracked, and then when you generate your reports in reporting and analytics, you can access all the information and build your report also. 8 different windows, so you can decide whether guests will be paying by cash, direct bill, city ledger, direct bill, MasterCard, Visa cards, and all. 8 different windows where you can bifurcate bills as per your own, as per guest requirement. In terms, they want separate laundry bills, they want separate alcohol bills, and all that. So you have 8 different windows available here as well. And in fact, you can generate all your routing instructions well in advance. So all the charges which will be posted will automatically bifurcate into different windows. Now, at this stage, once all the information is done, the important part and one of the best features of Opera Cloud is adding reservation to a trip composer or to continue booking, right? You can simply book the reservation, and that's it, provide the confirmation to the guest. Other than that, you can simply say add reservation to trip composer. So it's mandatory field required. The guest wants to pay by cash, add reservation to trip composer. Now it has not completed the reservation, but rather it moves back to the reservation screen where staff can actually pick up the other property for which they want to continue creating booking for. So let's say right now we have created for Sydney. Now they can select the Grand Ceylon. Earlier it was showing both to pick up and create. Here another example where they can simply pick up the other property, query, change the dates. Right now guest is coming on 20th October, 2 nights, search again. So availability is shown for that particular day. Either you can click continue through the reservation process or simply drag and drop the rates onto the trip composer, and another reservation is in creation for this guest. Just a quick confirmation, add reservation to trip composer. So at this stage, what system has done, it has created 2 bookings for you. No restriction, keep continuing creating the reservation as per the guest itinerary. So you can actually create the entire itinerary of your guest, using the trip composer option. Once it is done, you click on book now, and these 2 bookings are created for your guests. And with one guest reservation search, you can see all the future or linked reservation as well. All right. So a lot of benefit, different way how you create the reservations for your customer. So it's not only one, but you can benefit and create multiple reservation for your guests. You have option of creating, you can view the call histories, link reservation, packages offered, so different options to work with. You have, specific notes, attachments. So you have any important documents, your billing letters, your negotiated rate letters, all that can be attached onto the, guest reservation. You can see daily breakups. It's not only one reservation, but you can actually see the daily breakup of that particular reservation. And it further gives you benefit where for each day record, you can change the information. So let's say on second day, you want to give a 10% discount, right? So you can simply change the information for that particular day within the guest stay and change the information. Let's say for second day, guest is coming for 3 nights. 2 nights he is from the corporate, but third night he's staying on his own. So you do not want to give credit to the company, right? For the third night, guest is staying and paying on his own, because that really adds the wrong information to the company metalization. It's not the company metalization. So you can change and remove the company association for the third stay, rather than creating altogether a new reservation. So that's the kind of flexibility is the, Opera Cloud brings to you when you're talking about the reservations. Once you're on arrival, again, you can search your guests, and believe me, I'm still on the hub level. So at the corporate level also, you can simply manage the entire operations for your property, which is, let's say, at one of the remote places. So you can access all the information, perform check-in, check-out, sitting at the corporate office. Right? So this is how the reservation, the look to book screen works. Any questions here? No? Okay. So as I'm on arrival, again, you can search for your arrivals. And one important information, Mr. Alongo, wanted to see is your e-registration. Definitely, you have a lot of other options to work with. Once the booking is created, you can simply go assign rooms, put reservation in queue as guest is arriving, cancel reservation, move reservation, copy reservation, in case booking is created, guest says, okay, create one more booking for next month for me. You do not need to create entire booking again. Simply use copy reservation and create one more reservation for you. Guest arrived at the property, your staff can simply click on e-signing of the registration card, right at the time of arrival. Now, with the mobility, you can simply hand over tablet. Your staff can simply hand over tablet to your guest, and they can sign the registration card. Sorry, it's just a sample e-registration card. You can customize the way your registration card looks in single signature or multiple signature, purely as per the format you will choose. So you can simply hand over tablet. Guests can easily sign the information, the registration card, and your e-signature is done. Rather, e-registration is done. So no more printed copies of your registration cards. No hard copies. In case you want to print for any verification, you can go back to the options, and you can actually print the registration card as well. Now from here, you have again a lot of options. You can take messages, you can enter alerts, you can do traces for any follow-ups, you have routing instructions, track it, share it, and all that information can be handled from the application itself. Any questions on the reservation, arrivals?
Oh, nothing.
All right. So next, I want to quickly showcase is the inventory, right? You do have a drop-down menu option where housekeeping can simply access the housekeeping board, and they can access the information of your rooms. Again, you can access it at the corporate level, or user can access it at the property level, right? Where they can see the entire status of the house in terms of room, what category particular room is on, what is the current status, it is out of order, service, the discrepancy between front office and housekeeping. Like in 203, front office star says it's occupied, but housekeeping went into the room and they find no signs of guest or no signs of guest luggage. So as per them, it is vacant, right? So that's where the discrepancy system will show. You can update the status for a particular room, let's say room number 225, or you can mark the number of rooms you want to update the status for. Update room status, what you want to update it from. Dirty, you can jump to 3 levels, or you can directly jump to a level. You can update the housekeeping status, which is basically the discrepancy, right? And in case if room is occupied, let's pick up one of the occupied rooms here. So let's say you want to update the status. So for occupied room, you have further options here where other than housekeeping status, you can update the guest service request as well, whether guest is on a DND. So you can mark it as DND. The guest needs a makeup room, or it's a makeup room, no status is updated. You can update the status, turn down status, whether the turn down service is completed, required or not required, and reports can be generated on basis of that. So a lot of options available, users to update from. Now at this stage, what I'm going to do, I am going to move to my mobile tablet and show you the benefit. I don't know if you can see my screen. 1 second. I'm going to stop share. So I'm holding a mobile device in my hand actually, right? And I'm going to show you how it works from the mobile device. This is basically a small form factor, what we have. Let me quickly share my screen. Sorry. Allow me a moment.
Nitin, you're on mute.
Can you see my screen now?
Yeah.
All right. I'm having some challenges with my mobile device, but with Opera Cloud, what we offer users is a small form factor screen. Now, that's basically a screen which is for the mobile device, and it is simply because of the limitation of the mobile screen, where it has limited screen area to showcase the information. So how exactly it looks like on your device is like this, where you have quick options available on your mobile devices, right? So imagine your management team, your operations team, your duty manager, he wants to access quick status, right, of a particular property or his property. They can simply go to mobile device, select the property for which they want to see the heartbeat, and on their mobile device they can simply see the activity in terms of actuals, expected and made today arrivals, the departures information. They can change the status to previous room status of 60 minutes, what check-in checkouts are happened. They can view the comp and house information for a particular property and a summary of it as well. While they're on mobile device, as they are responsible for more than one property, right, they can simply change the location on the device as well to access a particular property information, or they can log into Hub as well to access information from other properties. So here I'm simply switching over to a property level where user can access information on their mobile device. Tablet has a bigger screen, so definitely they have a better screen layout to work on the application. But with the mobile device, with the limited screen, we have this special link designed. For the housekeeping, they can simply access the task companion option, where they can access your staff can access the task sheet they are responsible for, like full service. So they can access the full service information and further go on to the task sheet they are responsible for, and they can actually update the status of a particular room from here itself. So room number 203, what they want to do, they can select start the work when they want to do. They can view the reservation detail on their mobile device. So gone are the days, when they have to move around with the long printed reports of their in-house guests. So they can access the information in 213. You had this guest staying in, right? Similarly, they can view the instructions, any specific instructions they need to take care of when they're providing the service to the room. They can view the room list, they can update the status, and all that can be done from the mobile device itself. Other options which are available, they can access the room maintenance. Now, it's a small part which is available within the application, where staff can actually generate a task which maintenance needs to perform. Let's say they go on to a particular room. Sorry. So they can enter the room, let's say 213, is this the guest, right? So they can generate the request for 223. They found out that the AC is not working. So they can generate a request as aircon repair needs to be done. No cooling, right? So maintenance department knows that they need to go to room 223 because there is no cooling in the from the aircon in that particular room. And once the task is generated, now your maintenance department can also simply access information on their device with the same information as room maintenance, enter the room number, right? Search for it, and it shows, okay, my request, all requests. So here it shows that 223 AC is not working. Once they, update the status, they can simply update the status of this room as resolved or not resolved from their device itself. Once they mark it as resolved, they can further add comments to it and services completed and the status gets updated. Reports can be generated, but yes, as I remember, we were discussing about the, the maintenance tool where escalation needs to be done. So for that, definitely a separate application need to be used. But within Opera Cloud, we do have this small tool available where housekeeping can generate the maintenance request and maintenance department can mark it as resolved and unresolved, and simple reports can be generated. Talking about, again, housekeeping, your housekeeping department can simply post charges using their mobile device onto the guest room. So they can, there's no 223 search. So there is no article configured. Sorry about it. Let me see. Okay. So basically with this posted functionality, you can create all your items of minibar items and post onto the guest bill. So beer or Diet Coke or any chips, peanuts, all that articles can be created and posted through the mobile device itself, right? You can query about the in-house, guest who's staying in. So you can simply access the information on your mobile device and it searches the information and it shows you the guest information here. Let's see. Right. So here, a simple screen, your front office manager moving around, he wants to inquire about the guest. He can simply access information about the guest and further see details on the mobile device itself. Right. And definitely, again, queue rooms, another feature which is available where you can see how many rooms are in queue, which rooms housekeeping needs to prioritize because guest has already arrived at the property. Right? So that was quick on the, walkthrough. Just wanted to show you the small form factor screen as well, how exactly it works. So really want to open floor for any questions, any specific area you want to see the application. We are already at 1.5 hours time. So just want to open for quick questions. Mr. Ravi? Satish? Yep, just want to open floor for any questions, queries I have. That was the last part I wanted to cover of the applications. Any specific you want to see?
This is Kannan actually.
Yes, Kannan.
See, now we are giving that option in mobile phone, right? See, as far as mobile phone is concerned, I think anywhere, is there any restriction can be done that only inside the premises that access can be done? Because if I assume that I am the IT manager, I am having access from outside also. From there, by connecting, I can make any changes as by mistake or something else. So is there any restrictions can be put only these mobiles can be accessed inside the premises and HODs can access outside? So like that, is there any restrictions so that the data can be controlled in a better manner?
That's a good question. So currently we do not have whitelisting of IP addresses because simply Opera Cloud works on a public network. right?
Okay.
That's the flexibility provided so that information can be accessed across anywhere. What you can do is you can have your two-factor authentication, turned on, where user who wants to access out of the property will be sent a code on their emails as a two-factor authentication once they want to log into the application.
Right.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Anyway, users will have the user log. Whether they do intentionally or by mistakes, then that can be traced.
No, absolutely. But for housekeeping and other small departments, the houseman, so by mistake restricted. That is why our point.
Right.
Okay.
Mr. Nitin, I have the two questions.
Sure.
We have the room categorizations across the group level, but it's dependent the hub wise, not the group level is uniform. Hope you will not put a mandatory that according to the Oracle standard you need to change the categorization, which is impossible.
Not at all. You can have your own categorization, but when looking at the GRT, right, means probably it would be a time where you want to revisit, right, and do a lot of standardization across the chain, right, rather than different categories. I mean, it's a suggestion from my side, right, but it gives you option where you can standardize your code, but Opera doesn't restrict you. No, you can have different categories at different properties. Definitely a resort property will have a different style of rooms, and business hotel will have different style of room categories. No,
yeah, because this category we just set some 1.5 years around, so it's again it's
no problem
possible to change over.
Of course.
And we heard that there is GST compliance still with the Indian GST compliance with the Oracle. Is it because we are experiencing this with our 4 Radisson hotels which is connected? Is it with issues between the Radisson and Oracle, or Oracle is easy to go with this, or are you still having these bugs with you?
Okay, so I will not call it a bug. Okay, so from the compliance side, Opera Cloud is not released in a country if it's not legal and fiscally compliant. We have an entire separate team within Oracle, within HGBU, which is Hospitality Business Unit. We have a separate legal and fiscal team who has all the legal requirements fulfilled in terms of GST, your rack rate, luxury tax on rack rate we used to learn earlier, but it still exists in some places. So all that legal and fiscal things are taken care within Opera Cloud. So that includes GST as well, your GDPR requirements, your any PCI compliance, everything.
Okay, so this can be enabled according to the brand specific, not the
not it. Every property has their own GST, and that's where enterprise like you will have GST number for Chennai separately, for Bangalore separately, Tuticorin separately. So yes, that can be done.
Okay, the one point we missed out during the reservations upload is that the GST will be uploaded automatically, or you have the separate folder?
In terms of
profile update, GST.
So that can be updated on the company profiles you're talking about, right?
That can be uploaded for the.
Yes, that needs to be added to the once we configure the GST. So you have specific fields for GST which gets added to the corporate and travel agents.
That's additional services.
Yes, and it's part of this application.
Okay.
Yeah,
got it. Thanks.
So Satish, that's a good question. We work with the third parties for the e-invoicing, right? We do have e-invoicing within Opera Cloud, but for e-signatures, we work with third parties. Sorry, my mistake. You're talking about e-invoicing, e-invoicing, which is a government requirement. So that's it. That's included. Yes. Yes. Yes, I have not seen it, to be honest, not seen it working, but I can get you more details on it.
Satish, you're talking about GST invoice only, no? E-invoice.
Yes, so that is taken care because that's a legal and fiscal requirement.
Yeah, that's a legal thing, no? Because which need to come as a part of the system.
Absolutely.
Plus, e-fully also can be sent to the guest.
eFolio, yes. eFolio is it's a PDF. You can when you print the folio, so the users will have option of emailing also. So it reads the email from the guest profile and emails out.
Do you have a copy of that bill actually? How it will be that Opera bill from the cloud actually? I think
Kanan, that's gonna be property specific. So
okay.
That will be customized as per each property. So there is no standardized, or fixed folio invoice format for the Opera.
Okay.
What we provide you is a BI tool, so you can actually configure your own format for each property.
Nitin, I have a query.
Yes, Mr. Ravi.
There's nothing but now we are setting up the master segment, business source, channels, and the various parameters we are configuring.
Correct.
Okay, and for example, business source we are configuring about 15 parameters. But some of our property, some parameters which is not applicable. Is it property specific parameterization possible, or is it a global parameterization where they have to pick and choose?
Okay, that's a good question. That's really a brilliant question, Mr. Ravi. So what happens is, Opera Cloud gives you option of configuring your code at the hub level, right?
Yeah.
And then when you create your property within the hub, you pick and choose from the template which ones are applicable for that particular property. So let's say if you have 20 market segments, right? Definitely, because as an enterprise, you cater to each type of market segment, right? But this property, which is in Madurai, for example, right? It's more of a leisure, property where rest of the market segment won't be applicable. So you only pick up those and make it applicable for Madurai property. Does that answer?
Brilliant. Yeah, brilliant. This is common objective for any parameterization is concerned.
Any parameter, sir. Any parameter, and that's where when I shared my screen, let me quickly share. So that is where when I shared the screen inclusions, right? You must have seen the sixth line, I guess it is fifth or sixth line, multi-property profile and configuration sharing. So when I say configuration sharing, it's basically you configure once, it gives you control of your entire standardizations and codes you want property to use. And then you just share across.
Got it. Yeah. Thank you. Is there any other questions, Satish, Kanan, Mr. Eglambo?
No, nothing. I think it is clear now.
Very clear. Huh?
Yeah, very clear. Very clear.
But what about Krishnan?
I would say, Nitin, there is a lot of improvement to the Opera versions what we have used in the past.
Absolutely, sir. Absolutely.
So still we can use this, but we have the brand restrictions. That's why we are not getting it.
See, only in Radisson, maybe, I mean, again, yes, I understand what Mr. Krishnan is saying. What we are offering today is purely for the GRT. I really cannot talk about the Radisson part of the GRT because that's totally a brand restriction.
And, just to add, you are right.
Yeah.
When you mentioned that it's very different, I would say it's totally new. It's not different. And if you see, it's very centralized, customized, and user-friendly, right? And the security level and the scalability here with cloud is very, very high. So if you want to quickly open a property, make it up and running, train your staff. If there is a staff moving on, there is any kind of attrition, people can get trained quickly and again get used to the system. So all that scalability and reliability becomes very, very easy with the cloud option that we are showcasing here. And anybody has used Opera in the past in any hotel can actually make sense of it because the back end of it is very same. Only the front end, the user thing has been changed. So and with more options and more user-friendly stuff. So at the end of the day, it's going to add a lot of value in your daily business, as well as also it's going to help you achieve business excellence and operational excellence.
Okay, done. So now, okay, Krishnan, I have one more doubt in this. See, currently all our booking engine is through Star, right?
Yes.
So how is that? Because your entire reservation, we are making it in Star, right? Now, currently.
We are not making in Star. We are making in WinHMS.
Sorry,
now we are currently talking about only the PMS.
Okay. So are we going to use this Opera reservations, or how is that in future in case if we select this?
So sorry for jumping in.
Okay.
Definitely for the Star, for your channel manager, for your travel agents, you would require Star. So with Opera Cloud, we do provide integration, a seamless integration with your Star channel manager as well.
Okay. Right. Okay.
And there are only distributions. So this is
more
what we're saying is only that property PMS.
Okay, Krishnan, tomorrow in case if you want to go like ideas kind of a software for the revenue management, at what level you will be integrating with the Opera?
They have the interface. We can, what level, I'm sorry, I didn't follow.
We have entire two-way integration. So I remember Mr. Krishnan was mentioning about G2 and G3 integration of ideas, right? So we have both available. Sir, let me give you one, thing is, whatever integration right now you're working with Opera V5 in your property in Radisson, and just to give you an example, I'm taking Radisson name, right? So whatever integrations you have running with Opera V5 will definitely work with Opera Cloud, and Opera Cloud offers much more integration and capabilities than V5.
Okay.
So whatever is working is working. We are not taking that away from you.
Okay.
Yeah.
Including you can do that all the REPUB, ORMs, whatever the interface rotates. So all as per the class.
All those things at some point of time it is required, because see, from REPUB, we need to take a certain feedback and then integrate it with the guest profile.
Tell me.
Even REPUB also things we are looking for alternate. Some changes.
Yes, the meeting is not over. Once over,
can you please put on mute?
Then I create, I will share it to you. Okay. Have you finished your lunch?
Kannan, mute yourselves.
No problem, I have muted him.
Right, okay. One more thing I wanted to ask you is, okay, so since we have so much of data is available with that, can the data be used for doing some marketing activities? Like, for example, we are using REPUB or something like that, a third-party application to send out communication for marketing. Can that be directly taken and then send it to the email IDs and phone numbers what we are having?
All right. So, sir, we need to explore the possibility. As I said, we have APIs available. We have the entire integration platform which is available. And let me quickly share one screen with you. This is our reporting and analytics tool, right? Now, reporting and analytics tool, as I mentioned, it is one tool which you will be happy to work with. You can build your reports, your graphs, your dashboards as per your own requirements. And it gives you capability of extracting data out from Opera reporting and analytics to any third party.
Okay.
So you can build your reports. What data you want to export out is part of the reporting and analytics. And it's an amazing tool where this is a design screen by me. I didn't use, so I've just created one where you can actually see and build your entire dashboard the way you want to see your property. A lot more can be done. Reports can be created as per your own requirement. You can create analysis. What we are providing you is various dashboards where subject areas, right? To build your own reports. Your entire accounts receivable information is available within the subject areas. Your AR ledgers, your booking information, which gives you header and grid details, including actual, potential, and revenue statistical information. Your production changes, any changes happening, your entire reservation information is available in terms of these subject areas, your catering information, your statistical manager information. So all this is available, and it is as simple as dragging and dropping information to create a particular report. So you have a lot more available along with the reporting and analytics as well.
Okay, good.
If you wish to see entire details of this BI tool, we can definitely set up another half-an-hour session because I need to take you through the capabilities of reporting tool. And
we need to understand this because at a corporate level, BI will be very, very important.
Absolutely, sir. Absolutely,
and that's strategies will come out of this.
Absolutely, sir. And that's why I just quickly showed you, the kind of layout and screens you can do on dashboard. So definitely, with next step, we can have a session on reporting and analytics tool as well.
Okay, right. Good.
Sure, sir.
Ravi, you can take over.
Yes. On the whole, it's a fantastic presentation.
Thank you,
Kudos
sir.
to the entire team who has taken, despite we have a busy schedule, despite we are on a different geological locations, things are moving as per the schedule. I think we are all in line with the day after tomorrow's meeting. What Mr. Ilungu and Krishnan?
Yes.
So, sir, I have a quick question to Mr. Ravi and Elango. So, on next session, so you have seen the application. What exactly would you like to see on your staff? Definitely not the presentation screen, maybe a quick introduction to the Opera Cloud, what exactly Opera Cloud brings to users, and the entire flow, what I have covered today, so they can familiarize themselves with the profiles, reservations, housekeeping, and all that.
See, some of them, correct. Some of them would have worked with Opera earlier versions. So we can just briefly talk about what is the Opera Cloud all about, and then you can introduce the product directly. And what are the advantages? What are the advantages?
Definitely. I want to talk about more benefits to them so that they can see how it really eases, their operations. And
correct. Krishnan.
Yes.
Mr. Krishnan, I just wanted to check with you whether you would like to bring all these your cluster revenue managers for that meeting for them to understand, because they will have more questions.
Yeah, all the stakeholders. See, regarding the FAQs, we can restrict to the maximum, maybe 2 or 3 per properties. Otherwise, it will take a longer time. We are bringing all the group levels.
Okay. No, see, what is my plan of actions for day after tomorrow is that we will give a small intro about this Oracle team to our entire group members. Okay. Then we will be handing over to Nitin, and Mr. Nitin and his team will Saurabh, and everybody will take care about the product briefings, then the demo. Then we will leave it the question and answer session at the
end.
Sure, sir. Sure, definitely.
Done.
We're actually really looking forward to all those questions coming out from the key stakeholders, right? Because those are the most key things.
Absolutely.
When the presentation is on.
Yes.
Sure.
So we'll be looking forward to it.
Yeah, so that the focus will be more onto software presentation and the software demo, and then the question and answer session will give more clarity because more than one person. So the flow will go smooth.
Absolutely. Okay. No worries. Yeah. I'm all excited.
That's it. Any other things, Krishnan and from Mr. Ilungu, right? Or anything you wanted to share so that?
Nothing from my side.
Fantastic. So,
great.
Good, Nitin. Good, Saurabh.
Thank you, Mr. Ravi. Thank you, everyone, for your
time. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Elango. Thank you, Ravi. Thank you, Mr. Krishnan.
Thank you. Yeah.
My pleasure.
Thank you. Also, we all will meet again on day after tomorrow.
Definitely.
Yes. Looking forward to it.
Right. Okay.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye.
Thank you. Bye.